Hi guys, welcome back. Today is October 15th, a Wednesday, and today was a good day. Today I've been very productive. I have gone to uni a bit later than normal. I arrived at around 10. And yeah, I kind of looked in instantly. I just started doing some studying, followed by some work, and basically by the time noon hit, I already did everything on my to-do list that I could do at university today. So yeah, it's been going great. The last couple of days I've been really locked in, I've been really focused. And I do notice that my steps that I took to cut out all the distractions, which is removing social media from my phone and also replacing habits such as when I was in the train traveling, which is 30-40 minutes a day, I stopped just looking at social media and I just started, yeah, kind of just doing things that are helping. Right now I'm still reading a book and it has been really helping by keeping my mind just relaxed and clear. So those things are really helping. Today I also had a nice coffee chat with a friend of mine who is now studying the masters of our study, and basically this was just a really nice way to just relax and socialize. So I had my social time for today, but also, I was able to tell her something about what I've been working on relating my career and the direction that I want to go on. Because for a long time, our study was seen as really something wide, and there were many options that you can pick from. And even within my study, you're able to pick three tracks, which are living, robotics, and ICT, the one that I chose. And within those tracks, we were able to pick a lot of courses ourselves, which were not mandatory. And with that, it kind of was a maze on how you wanted to fill in your studies. And this is, of course, great. Like, you're able to pick whatever you're interested in, and you can just do whatever you like and just leave whatever you don't like. However, it's also some part that's really tricky about it because, of course, a lot of people are not yet known with what they want to study later in life or what they want to do for a job or whatever they want to do in the future. And for a long time, this was me. I was not able to pick what I wanted to do. And also, even though I really enjoy my studies, it kind of felt like going into a dead end because if you are studying something that you like but you have no idea what you're going to do with it, what are you doing it for, but luckily I was able, as I told you in my last video, to define whatever I wanted to do and also kind of find out on accident that the things that I've been interested in and the courses that I've chosen because of this are really matching with UX research and engineering. So with that, I'm positive that I have a future in my studies, and finally, after hopefully finishing my studies this year, after 4 years of studying, I'm gonna be able to start making bigger steps in my career and do what I'm passionate about. What I also noticed during my coffee date is that you really have to be careful with picking your friends. I told my friend that I was just accidentally looking at it today, and I saw that a lot of people at university were people that were friends with people that they really are alike in. Those people were, for example, the way that they were dressed. You saw that there were clusters of people just meeting people that are dressed in the same style. And also people how they take care of themselves. They are friends with people that take the care of themselves in the same way. It's really interesting. And this also shows with international students. For international students, it's often very difficult to make groups. And I see that so many international students are just kind of hanging around with people from the same country, which is a shame because I feel like in universities like the one that I'm in, it is a big plus to just kind of socialize with people outside of your normal friend group. But yeah, it's really become apparent to me that people actually look at what they are themselves, and it's kind of like the same type of people looks for the same type of people, which is something that I found interesting. But also, what I realized is when I was talking with my friend about my own future, that the way you relate with your friends, and if they are good friends and lifting you up and hearing about your plan without kind of like generalizing it to themselves and talking you out of it, but rather looking at what is possible, those are the kind of people that you should surround yourself with. Because more than I realized before today, people that are surrounding you, they either lift you up or break you down. They look at the possibilities and they look at your own personal values and your own skills and basically all the lessons that you learned in life, because those lessons made you realize something on your own. And if you're discussing this with people, it's easy to say like, oh, but this is not going to work because I know someone who failed, or there are risks related to it. But if they are not so good friends, they don't put themselves in your shoes. They don't realize that you have probably researched it or you have other experiences. But also, if you have not heard any success stories because you're either not interested or just new to the subject, and you generalize something that you have heard from someone who maybe was completely incompetent of doing the thing that your friend wants to do, if you would generalize this and say, well, it's not a good idea, then you're not a good friend. And if friends do that to you, they're not that good of friends. They can be nice, don't get me wrong. They can be really nice. But good friends are open to listening to your own experiences. And rather than talking you out of it or putting your idea down, they should level with you. They should think about the opportunities. And if they have good advice on possible risks, they put this objectively. They should tell you, well, have you thought of this? Rather than don't do it because there might be a risk that this might happen. And I really noticed that the friend who knows who she is, she's a good friend. She has been listening and she is giving me a lot of inspiration. And I think she could tell, because if someone is giving me inspiration and if someone is actually listening and asking questions and showing that they're interested in hearing about your own life, I kind of start telling and I start glowing and I start smiling while I'm telling it and I'm explaining it in great detail. And yeah, I'm really thankful for this friend in my life. And it's great. It's great. It was a great chat. And of course, I had a very good iced coffee at the Douwe Egberts Cafe here in the Netherlands. I didn't randomly come to the thought about how you have to pick your friends for advice, and I also didn't come randomly to asking for more advice myself. I am still reading the book Master Your Mindset, which is written by Michael Pilarczyk, and I greatly recommend this to everyone who is into self development but also just is stuck in how to continue with their life's mission. And his vision is basically built around living your nicest life, which is leef je mooiste leven in Dutch. His vision on this is basically that you have to have a plan and an end goal where you are going to. Even though the journey is the goal itself, you have to know what you want to reach in life in order to make a concrete plan and make steps forward. And about the advice, Michael Pilarczyk wrote a very good piece on how you have to get advice from people that are sources with actual quality. Either people that have been in your shoes or people that are in the place that you want to get to. Those people are able to provide valuable advice. And maybe your parents or your friends are talking negatively when you propose your plans, or you feel judged when you're talking about your life improving because maybe they themselves are jealous. This can mean that they are not good friends, but they can still be good friends in the sense that they are nice and they're there for you when you need them. But it's also okay to disregard the advice of your friends, because sometimes simply it's poor advice. They have the best intentions giving it to you, but if you have a good plan, you have good life lessons learned in order to go to where you want to go, why should they be able to talk you out of it if they have no advice or no intention of doing the same? They are giving you free advice, but it's bad advice. So it's okay if you know that you have a good plan to not second guess yourself and cut out those noise and bad advices. Furthermore, I've ordered a new book that I'm really excited about reading. It's called Laws of User Experience by John Jablonski, and it's basically about all the principles that are related to good UX engineering and research, giving all the principles about how and why interaction should be designed the way it is. And I'm gonna read this after I finish Master Your Mindset. But this book caught my eye because I saw it on the internet and it was really well described by the reviewers. It's basically combining the psychology, as the subtitle says, using psychology to design better products and services, which is very closely related to what I want to do with my user experience, research, and engineering. So I'm definitely gonna read it and let you guys know when I'm going through the book on what my experiences are. But I think it's gonna be a good book for me to understand more about UX research and engineering, but also in general more about UX and UI design. Because with some aspects of it, I kind of feel like I am on a good track of understanding. Plus, I really like doing it. When a friend yesterday asked me to give some advice about the interface that he was designing for a product that the University of Technology in Eindhoven is creating, he wanted my ideas about the interface and what he could improve. And despite being a very simple interface, I was able to give him some useful tips, which was the first time I kind of noticed that I am subconsciously already looking at a design and trying to improve it in my head. So someone asking to have my opinion on it was something that I found really special, and I really enjoyed it, honestly, which kind of is making me more sure about my own decision on focusing on user experience, research, and engineering, which is great. It just gave me a little push in my back and just know that I'm on the right direction. So I'm definitely going to continue working on my Codecademy course and at the same time just working on my uni stuff. Furthermore, following what I told you earlier about the book Master Your Mindset by Michael Pilarczyk, he wrote about a threat assessment for your future plans. You should never underestimate how wrong you can be, he said. And he had a great exercise that I'm going to do, and maybe it's something you should do either. It's an exercise where you're going to look at your future plans. So in my case, this is probably moving to Spain. And also with my career itself, how do I want to start? I would like to keep on working where I'm working right now, but I of course want to develop my skills within that company. How am I going to get there? What do I want to learn? And how am I going to learn the things I want to learn? Michael Pilarczyk kind of writes about an exercise where you are going to assume everything you can think of, every single step of your plan is going to go wrong. If you are able to come up with ideas how it might go wrong. So an example is moving to Spain. What if I'm evicted from my apartment? Or what if I get fired from my job? All those kind of scenarios that are giving you stress and anxiety, or you're just unsure about, you should just write down. And as Marco Pilarczyk put it, every problem is in question not well defined. Because as soon as you can define the question that is the problem, as soon as you can give it a great definition, the solution becomes very apparent. Because why is something able to go wrong? And if it goes wrong, what is the core of going wrong? If you're getting evicted, for example, you can say, the problem is I'm being evicted. But what are the core problems? And with that, I mean, like, I have nowhere to go to sleep. I have my stuff. What do I do with my stuff? Where do I find a new apartment? It's very deep rather than the problem that is in your head circling around, which is, I'm being evicted. Help, what do I do now? And for that, I'm going to just start on writing some basic doomsday scenarios about what can possibly go wrong when I'm gonna, for example, move or when I'm gonna work after graduating. And I'm gonna write good definitions of these questions, followed by great solutions. They have to be very simple, they have to be easy to implement, and this is gonna create some kind of database that I have for myself in my Notion page that I can just save. And if something that I've put in my database or something similar happens, I already have some framework that I made earlier that I can just implement or at least use as some hold when I'm dealing with a situation. But Michael Pilarczyk also says, also don't underestimate the fact that things, even that you cannot perceive right now, can go wrong. And if you have nothing in your database yet, don't stress out. You have to first define the question and then you start looking for the answer, because your brain is very easy to start generalizing and thinking of answers. But if you have a problem that you have not clearly defined, you can come up with an answer that seems plausible, but because of the wrong definition, it may not cover your whole core problem and in the end not be effective while you're wasting your resources, your time, and your effort. So it's better to first start defining your problem as a question and then answering this question with a solution that's actually fitting. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for the upcoming days. And looking back at the last couple of days, I'm very proud of myself of the progress I've been making. I have been more mindful in the way that I'm treating my attention and my energy to be more focused on one single task, lowering my music intake, lowering my social media usage, and with that, just staying focused. Every day has been going really smooth with less and less distractions, and I'm really proud of myself. And I hope that these videos, if someone is watching, that these videos kind of can show that, hey, not everyone is perfect and not everyone gets everything handed in life. I've been through quite some struggle, and I'm still struggling, and I don't think the struggling would ever stop, but your mindset can. If you just look at it positively, that every problem is just a challenge, you will just have such a nice life. And I already notice it. My mood is getting better, my energy is up, and I just have a bright view on life, even though I'm not yet where I want to be. But it's the journey that counts. So I hope that these videos are inspiring for you, and I'm really excited to see this in a year and 2 years, to see where I come from and see where I'm at that moment. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and again, please comment down below. I have not yet had a single comment, and this is the third video I'm making, but I'm just gonna lock in. I'm gonna keep on making these videos for me. I know that these aren't high quality educational videos, but I am enjoying making them. I'm a bit perfectionistic, but I'm also slowly learning to let go of that. So please like and subscribe, and please let me hear something about your story. And yeah, maybe just join the community. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.